Oh, it started already. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Our Heads. So are we talking about, what are we talking about?
We're talking about that guy, David Grush, the guy who worked for the Department of Defense, who says that the U.S. government has possession of intact and partially intact alien vehicles, and that they are illegally withholding the information from Congress. Now, this guy he worked for the DOD, and he is a whistleblower. So he's very credible.
So it's that stories like that are very hard to substantiate because one, it's confidential, right? Like stricken from the records, even illegally detained. How do you even prove something like that besides having it come out in the open? I don't understand that.
I think if it comes from a credible source, like a person that's in the Department of Defense or some kind of, area in the government, then it's very credible. If it was just some nutcase that had a foil hat on and was saying it, that's not very credible. He's just saying based on his thoughts and beliefs, but this is based on, paperwork and evidence and other people that he's dealt with and talked to and all that stuff. So I think it's very credible, and no one's come out and refuted it.
There are video. I used to watch these conspiracy theories, and again, they pit it as a conspiracy theory, right? Because that's probably how a lot of people want you to spin it. And there's also another credible. I forgot his name, and it kind of sucks that I did. But he also worked for, a 3-letter agency. Mm-hmm. Very credible guy, has all kinds of clearances, and he said, the U.S. knows aliens exist. And I don't know why they keep this information from everybody. And that's pretty much like the gist of what he tries to get people to understand. Mm-hmm. And this probably is like kind of adds on to that, right? I just don't know who to believe. It's like
because
it's so
the government has this mentality that if they tell people what's really going on, it's going to be bedlam. Everybody's going around out into the streets and riot and go crazy or whatever.
End of days.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen these days. I mean, we've pretty much seen a lot of crazy stuff,
I mean, Independence Day, you go on the roof and then try and welcome them, and then they blow you to smithereens. So
say there are extraterrestrials, right? And they're doing their thing, and we don't know about them. It will, and they did decide to visit or attack. Worst case scenario, we're not prepared, But if the government told us, at least we'd be aware that they're out there, and we could take the proper measures to, protect ourselves and our families, right. Or whatever, or at least just be aware.
They could be the Vulcans and then just waiting for us to hit that sub warp speed so they can come and visit us, like finally say that, hey, they've got technology now they're worth actually saying hi to.
Or they can shoot a nuke in space, and that'll let them know.
I think it was Carl Sagan, and don't quote me on this. I believe it was Carl Sagan who said this. He said that we're either the center of the universe and we're the only life in this world, mm-hmm. or there are alien species out there that could be far advanced than us. Either one is a very scary thought because one suggests that, one we're alone and we're the only life source, in the entire universe, and then the other one is the unknown who could decimate us if they ever decide to come over here. And
what if they're dumber than us? That's also a possibility.
That's a possibility.
We have not visited another planet with an aircraft of our own. We have not sent ourselves to another planet because we don't have the technology to do that. They do. they would, if they landed over here, then that means that they must have comprehensive and
But what I'm saying,
incredible
what if there's
technology.
another planet somewhere else with a bunch of aliens that are like cavemen?
Well,
cavemen.
they can't be cavemen because they sent someone over here.
No,
right?
what I'm saying, if they haven't sent anybody and we don't know about them,
but that's
we would never know.
That's not what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
You just said a highly credible person.
No, I'm just saying. You said there were two options that either were alone or they're smarter beings. I'm saying there's three options: either alone, smarter beings, or dumber beings.
Well, Paul is saying because of this gentleman, David, that if they have been parking UFOs or something like that, then there's
maybe they sent the dumb aliens in a spacecraft, and that's why it crashed, because they're like criminals or something.
They're disposable. They're the expendables. There you go. They're expendables.
Yeah, they're sitting on the trash to our planet.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is another reference that pops in my head, like where it's just like wealthy space people just like, but like, it says that they buzz the Earth and like go into some uninhabited, like low place just to go like scare, like a farmer, jump out of their spaceship, do a dance, and then hop back in their spaceship and go and leave.
Well, I've always seen myself as a man of science, and I've always thought that I'm a rational person. And I used to think, because how the media kind of spins a lot of things, right? That when you hear offshoots like this, that it's immediately a conspiracy theory. One of the things that I'm starting to get around to, and don't call me crazy, again, this is substantiated by like the things that I've heard and the things I've read, and is the moon landing. You know how some people would say the United States faked the moon landing to,
win the space race.
To win the space race and have the advantage during the Cold War. I mean, in the same vein as that conspiracy theory, I can't help as an adult but believe it, because we have back then enough technology to simulate. Our TI-83 calculators have the same technology as the rockets that sent 3 astronauts to the moon. And then we've never done it ever since, because NASA says we lost that technology. And now you have SpaceX, who has really advanced technology. We have more advanced technology in our phones than we do back then, and can't even with billions of dollars, can't send a rocket to the moon. Like,
they sent that car, the Tesla, in the space, right?
Into orbit, but not to the moon.
It was meant to go to Mars, I think, but it missed. So now it's in orbit.
Orbit
around what?
It's
the Earth.
Orbiting.
I thought it went far away.
Just orbiting.
I thought it was in the Earth.
Is it?
They sent the Mars rover. They sent like 2 Mars rovers, right?
Yeah.
So multiple Mars rovers have been sent.
And,
they just haven't sent another person to another planet.
That's the point. Like they sent machines, non-organic matter to a different But they sent that back in the 60s. Why can't they do that again? They can't,
because NASA is broke.
I guess I haven't read they lost the technology. I thought it was just due to they didn't feel
budget.
The budgeting and like any.
No, it's
viable,
and it doesn't benefit us to go back to the moon.
There was no benefit to it, so they cut back on money.
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
So that I mean, there was an article about it, because they were asked the same. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that.
All their money into weaponry in the military.
I just can't believe that after billions of dollars with a much higher tech than we have today, we still can't send people to the moon.
They're going to make the space elevator, and then we can go to the moon.
You can. I think it can, but it's like it's more or less asking a question: why should they?
To get all the iron ore out of the moon and all the cheese,
the moon rocks, all the cheese.
Yeah, we need.
Well, in the same vein, right? Maybe that's right. Maybe the U.S. government does have a way to get people to the moon, and they're hiding that fact. Or they're just sending people to the moon without telling Congress, without telling anybody
up there.
Yeah, there's a space
nowhere.
elevator all the way to the moon, straight shot, and no
I don't think
one's
there's a way
saying
for them to
anything.
get around, like especially people with telescopes and other things, for them to actually be able to.
It's on the other side of the moon,
make-
Keith, the dark side.
The dark
I'm
side of the
talking-
moon.
Not even the dark side of the moon, which would probably be a horrible place to be.
There's supposed to
I'm
be a
talking about,
Nazi
like,
base on the dark side of the moon. So-
I'm talking about is just like making like constant trips without someone noticing something. Like it's
Keith, they do it when everybody sleep.
They come
Like
in
Santa
at night.
Claus.
They administer amnesiacs. You know, the things that make you forget.
They send Santa Claus to do it, and no one will
Mhm.
notice. He's making trips to the moon.
Moon. That'd be
I
wild.
don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think they. It's the money. Like at least our government does not find it. They don't find it beneficial to not putting any money to it, and it's not that I don't think they can't. But like they probably also spend a lot of money on the shuttle program as opposed to actually like because the shuttles aren't designed to go that type of distance, so they don't have they didn't build the rockets or whatever it is, the vehicles to do it as of today.
Okay.
Well, this kind of just feeds into, my belief that there are aliens in this world. There are other life beings outside us, and hopefully that kind of brings more information about what's out there. And I'm a big fan of space. What do you guys think about what's out there? Do you believe the whistleblower who says that we have a space aircraft that is alien to us? Anyways, that kind of keeps me deep in thought. We'll see you guys on our next drop.
We are not alone.
But I am.
Later.